Let's Real, I'm Ashwini Vedakan. Joining us on this week's episode is TV personality and news presenter Sharon Mascarenhas. But before we get into the show, here's a little sneak peek into her life. Welcome to the show, Sharon. It's good to have you with us.
Pleasure to be on board. Hope you're keeping well, and thank you for having me. I think you're doing a fabulous job in getting the scoops about people, but today's one is a little scary.
Well, thank you so much.
Now, Sharon, before we get into our burning questions, we have a little game planned for you. Are you ready for good name, bad name, and great name?
I hope, yeah.
Here it comes.
Good name for a teacher who speaks in broken English. Bad name for... This is where my thinking comes into play. Bad name. A beautiful mistake. I think it's a great thing when moms tell their children. Beautiful mistake. Bad thing. No, I can't think of anything at the moment for a beautiful mistake. It's a good thing when you want to tell a guy. It's a bad thing when some stranger comes and, reacts to you. I think it's a great thing when you kind of get it from your parents, I suppose. No, it's a great thing. Kiss me more. Somebody who loves you, definitely. Definitely when you are partying with your friends, so it's a good thing. Bad thing when you want to shoplift, and it's a great thing when you are involved in some sort of charity or something like that. Things are looking good. Okay. It's a good thing when the dish is obviously good, but it's a bad thing when you do it in public. You want to actually do that. It's a great thing when you know someone really well and you want to compliment to the chef. It's a great thing when you want to advise youngsters that anything is possible. It's a bad thing when you kind of lie to someone and tell them when you know that they can't pursue something. And it's a great thing when you actually mention that to someone so that they inspire and, move forward. Eat fresh. Okay, eat fresh. Eat fresh. I can think of vulgar stuff, but that would be a bit inappropriate. Eat fresh. Eat fresh fruits, like your mother tells you. Bad thing. Bad. Okay, pass. Save your tears. Save your tears for a better guy. It's a good thing to say. Bad. Save your tears for a boss who fires you. And a great thing. Save your tears every time something great happens in your life.
All right, well, with the icebreaker out of the way, are you ready for our burning questions?
Yes.
Here goes.
To my viewers, I would say I'm very careful, very professional, decent, quiet. Every time when it comes to work, I'm very passionate about it. But if it's to a crowd of my friends, I'm absolutely a crazy person, a very emotional, sensitive person. I'm scared of people, but I'm very outspoken. I'm very friendly, but I take time to get to know people. So that's why if they're my friends, it's like gelled up. I'm game for it. But if it's, to work with the industry, to people you meet as interviewers, etc., then I'm a little careful with how I go about with myself. Not at all. I always wanted to be a lawyer, and I saw the books and I got scared. And it was completely a chance, where it came out of nowhere, an opportunity for me to be a part of a media unit. And from there, it was just being passionate about what you are following, and got into television presenting. So far, I love it. It's been challenging. Ever since the pandemic started, there has been a complete transformation in how we do events, how we host TV shows. It's good, but sometimes you get the good and the bad as well. So you have to know how to pick and select. Plenty of embarrassing moments, especially with names. So Ashwini, if I tell you one, the scripts have horrible spellings. And with Sri Lankan names, monks' names, places of Sri Lanka, if the E and the A is typed in wrong, you end up reading it with a different pronunciation. So you have to be extremely careful. So there are some days where I watch the Sinhala bulletin and then I prepare myself for the English one. But there are scripts that just come on the spot, and then you have no chance to rehearse at that moment. So you just have to read off, and suddenly you get a call at around 9:30 saying, what was that place you mentioned? It's wrong. That was one incident. Another incident was when, so you get the main control room and the studio control room, and then you get the studio. The main control room handles the commercials. Studio handles most of us running the scripts, etc. And during a news bulletin, we were on a break, and I didn't know. I was apparently on air, and there was no communication between the producer. And I'm just going on saying, no sports script, no that script, no this script. And I'm making these faces, and this has been going on air. And it was a moment where, you can see in the clip, because I watched it. It was like, and everyone was laughing, saying, we saw the real side of you, screaming and shouting where the script is. So it's not funny, but it's also fun when you rewind and watch it like, gosh, yeah. Ashwini Vedakan. But on a lighter note, if it's like this, Ashwini. Sometimes you got to identify your audience, who these people are, and then I have had the real pleasure of working with a lot of personalities, with a lot of MCs from different genres, different backgrounds, and it's been a rather emotional week here in Sri Lanka as well. And with all of that, it's a lot of learning when you work with the veterans, when you work with people of your age, when you work with the youngsters. They come up with all these ideas. With veterans, you're like super careful. You don't want to get anything wrong. You have to be this professional. People of my age, we go nuts. We are insane. We're chilled because we kind of understand the same wavelength. And with youngsters, again, it's a little challenging because they're like the TikTok generation there. So it's a mix of how you want to go and how you move about. But I haven't technically worked with a lot of females, but mostly with males, and like people like Arun Dias, Faisal Bonzo, Clifford Richards, Kumar De Silva. And then we have people of my age, like Jayasuriya Fahad. Then we have a lot of youngsters who are coming into the scene as well, like Sandro. So it's great that there is all these people who are coming in, and some of them are good in dinner dances, some of them are good at corporate events, some of them are good at launches. So it's a mix of how they kind of pick and choose how they want to go. And for me to work alongside with them, I think it's been fabulous. BBC, without a doubt. I've been dying to join, but it also involves a lot of commitment, and politically you have to get ready to sacrifice a lot of things. So in two minds whether we should go about with it, but at the same time, I have a huge passion to join Animal Planet as well. Um, it's like, you want to do this, but something stops you behind, and you keep thinking, I'm comfortable with what I'm doing right now. Why do I want to leave everything behind and just go for this? A bit of a debate, yeah. It's amazing to see a lot of intermediates having a lot of talent than the seniors. I think it's also because most of the schools now organize media days, and this sort of encourages them to get into the habit of news reading or presenting, and people are very passionate about it. So it's nice when you come across students who learn from you or like to know more information. Like, that's how we started. Even when I joined, I used to not copy what the veterans do, but I used to sort of watch how they do it and take the gist of it, and then I do my own thing. So when I see a lot of youngsters trying to come up with their own style, it's brilliant. But there is one thing that kind of annoys me, I would say, is this accent where people just come out from nowhere. Because I think as a country, we speak really good English. And it's not an accent that we have from any other country. We've got like a really good way of communicating. So why just ruin that and just bring in a fake American or a British accent and go on about it? That's the only thing that I would see as a failure. But the youngsters, I would say, they're really, really having a good scope of coming up. And I'm really glad that the schools are supporting for this endeavor with media units, with the radio units in school. I mean, we used to love those, and it's good that they're encouraging them. Okay, now this is a little secret, okay? I didn't know where the kitchen was in the house. I'm kidding. I'm being obvious, right? The fact that my mom's an excellent cook, so I never do anything. And she makes these great dishes, and then when the pandemic started, you do have some time in your hands. So then you just try out your type of stuff that you love to eat. Not the big curries, not the big veggies, none of those. So yeah, I would say cooking came out of nowhere. But I don't post those embarrassing dishes online, no. Unknown fact about me, the fact that I'm very calm and patient. I think a lot of them don't know that. I think a lot of them think that I'm this fast, quick, out there, open, screaming, shouting type of person, whereas I'm very, very reserved. I don't know.
Well, Sharon, it has been an absolute pleasure having you on Living Gets Real. Thank you for joining us on the show this evening.
Thank you so much, Ashwini. I hope you stay safe, and to everyone who's watching this show, please take care of yourselves and go out only if you have to. Take care. Thank you, LND.
And that's all we have for you this week. Don't forget to follow us on Facebook and Instagram to catch the latest episode of Living Gets Real. Thank you for watching and stay safe.